Continuing in our series for professional development, now I want to talk to you about using the words please, thank you, and interjections in the conversation or within a conversation. Okay, so to start with please and thank you. Well, it's always polite and shows manners to use the words please and thank you. There is a line, however, at some point overuse of thank you or overuse in may I please, may I please, may I please, or thank you, thank you, thank you, can appear that the individual lacks confidence in what they're doing. So it can demean what you're actually saying. Okay, it can cause the listener to perceive, once again, things that aren't related to the actual content or effect of what you're doing or what you're saying. So once again, it's highly polite. Always begin with courtesies of asking someone, may I please do this? Okay, but make the assumption that that please carries through for the duration of what you're about to do. It doesn't require multiple requests unless the course of your conversation or the course of your actions change such that the reasonable person wouldn't perceive that your request to do something was accommodated in that original request in which you asked please. Okay, so just keep that in mind as you're planning your communication and interaction with others. And then thank you. Once again, showing that you are appreciative is very important, highly important. Saying thank you at the conclusion of a course of actions or series is very good. But once again, overuse of thank you can make another person feel uncomfortable, as if that you're not comfortable in asking them to do things, that you're overly demonstrating that you believe what they're doing is going above and beyond what you're asked for originally, right? So with that being said, overusing thank you, once again, can diminish the appearance of your confidence, which again correlates with competence in a given situation. Okay. Now, when you're communicating and interacting with somebody, most of the communication is going to be a back and forth exchange of information, right? But there are time periods when someone delivers more information than the other person, where one person needs to, the other party, the listener, needs to show that they're still engaged in the conversation, right? To show that they're paying attention. And this is done generally through things such as eye contact, facial expressions, and things like that. But it can also be done through interjections, responses, or micro responses to what's being said. Things like, really, that's interesting. Oh, okay, that makes sense. Things like that, that keep the speaker engaged, that keeps them comfortable that what they're saying is being well received and that you are following it. Okay, so the qualities of the interjection I want to identify are: the interjection should be primarily targeted towards continuing the conversation, showing that you're interested, or bringing up a very important point. Okay. If you're going to interject, do it at the right time. Pause, wait for a pause in the other person's speech or conversation, or a slowdown in their tempo such that it signals that they're looking for or inviting a level of interjection there with something that you have to say or an input. If you're going to say more than just a simple acknowledgement of what's being said, make certain it fits within the conversation and is agreeable with the other party. If it is not agreeable or fit within the conversation, it changes the course of the conversation. That can be very frustrating to the other person. It can make them feel that their purpose in conversing was not fully understood or wasn't fully appreciated. So until the end, even if you have different things to say, or even if you don't have words of agreement, just acknowledgement, once again, as the conversation's taking place, very important. But once again, if you are going to say more things during the course of the conversation, try to make them, to the extent possible, agreeable, which can be simply stating factual elements. Even if the factual elements you say are contrary, phrase them in the form of a question. Say, my understanding was something about, can you tell me more about A, B, and C, as to being the facts that you believe to be more accurate or correct or relevant to the situation. And that again makes it gives the other person the opportunity to continue their conversation, their purpose of the communication, just simply integrating what you say in terms of your interjection. Okay, now using your whole body to do that, right? Not just simply blurting out while someone is talking. That feels like interrupting. You can actually signal to another person that you want to say something just by your facial expressions and by your body movement, where how you change your head tilt, how you squint your eyes, or how you look at someone and use your hands as you're speaking, or just almost like you're raising your hand. When you start to move your hand, it sometimes signals to another person that you want to add something or have something to do. How you change your feet position, standing up tall, moving a bit closer to someone. It shows that you're engaged once again, but also shows that you have something to interject into the conversation. And these are simple communication elements that you need to practice with others to use effectively, type thing. And as I point out through our entire communications course series, these are just elements of practice. They come more naturally to some people, and some people have to work on them to a greater extent. But just like any other hard skills, these are softer skills that can have a major impact on your brand development. And very lastly, don't overtalk. Okay? Don't monopolize the conversation. Don't speak longer than than the other person's level of engagement is present. That is, you don't want to lose them in the conversation because you monopolize or dominate the conversation or speak past the points of interest that they wanted to talk about, because once again that has the effect of limiting conversation, ending the conversation, and in many cases can leave someone with a negative impression of you. So these are just simple things to be aware of in terms of using please and thank you and interjecting within a conversation.